Welcome to my abandoned Genshin Impact account.
Wait, don't go!
This account was created on my PlayStation during the first week of Genshin's release all the way back in 2020. After playing for just 6 days on this second account, I ultimately abandoned it. That was, until today. I want to play this account for 30 days and see if it's worth reviving, and what's changed since the game started over 5 years ago. This account has a handful of free characters, and a few others I must have wished for. But also, this account has Diluc, an underwhelming character by today's standards, but one that people would literally re-roll their whole accounts for back in the day. Honestly, I think that may be part of the reason this account exists. I'm excited to try him out, since I don't actually have him on my main account somehow, even after 700 days of playing. Beyond Diluc though, this account is basically empty. Almost no weapons, no meaningful artifacts, and a map that's barely been explored beyond what the early quests force you to do. So before continuing the story, I need a plan. I knew I wanted to unlock condensed resin as soon as possible, and I was genuinely surprised to find out you can just now buy the recipe outright, instead of unlocking it later through reputation. So with 50,000 more spent and a few other items obtained early thanks to the more I got as a returning player from the Stellar Reunion benefit, I could easily afford it. The first thing I did was play through some world and story quests and got to AR12, unlocking daily commissions. For a free-to-play account like this, daily commissions are huge, because outside of the world rewards you get from completing quests, opening chests, and exploring the world, this was one of the few ways to get Primo Gems, so you could do more wishes and unlock more characters. So having this unlocked early was a great benefit. During all this, I was obviously collecting my adventure rank rewards. Also, about now I did a 10 pull on an Neph's banner, and I pulled a constellation for Fischl and a sacrificial greatsword. 2 4 stars is not bad at all. But the main point I bring this up is because it was about now that I realized all of my characters were still naked, meaning I'd yet to equip any artifacts on any of them. So I leveled up some of their weapons and attached any artifacts I had. Mostly 3 stars at this point. Not long after, I reached AR14 and unlocked expeditions. So ultimately for day 7, we unlocked daily commissions, condensed resin, and expeditions, which honestly is a fantastic start if you ask me.
Thank you for complete.
From here on out, just assume I do my daily quests and expeditions every day, because most likely I will have. So I leveled up Diluc to level 9 with the old school idea of letting him get that last bit of natural XP from hunting monsters and doing quests, because the cap right now is level 40. And then I leveled the Traveler to level 38, because I'd already run out of EXP books. So after beating an EXP ley line, I was able to level Fischl to level 20 and ascend her to phase 2. And then I did the same for Xingqiu. But I couldn't ascend him immediately as I needed silk flowers, so I snuck off to the next region of Liyue early. I could go and pick some flowers to ascend him too. Then it was time to finish the prologue for the Archon quest. It was time to track down Duval to his lair, only to find it locked behind a giant windstorm he had created to keep us out.
It's stuck. It's stuck. Hey, check out that roof. Is there a giant hole in it?
If we were able to sneak in another way, I had to complete 3 mechanisms to unlock the seal above the tower, to once again face him in battle. After unlocking the final mechanism, I reached AR20, and my world level ascended for the first time, meaning everything was going to be more difficult from this point on. This is actually so cool.
That's what's corrupting Dvalin's mind.
I remember this fight feeling so big the first time I had to do it.
Aim for those blood clots.
Hey, there's the team. This fight is like super easy nowadays, so I kind of wonder how hard it's going to be.
Aim for the tainted blood clot on his neck.
Okay, that was so weak. My god. Is it because it's DPS Venti now? Or is Dvalan just that weak? Wait, are we going to one-cycle this? That'll be insane. We're definitely going to 2-cycle this.
No rest for the wicked.
And we got him. Oof, that headshot.
This place is gonna collapse.
And then imagine we all just die here and the story ends.
I clarified the misunderstanding to the citizens of Mondstadt and let them know that they are safe. To them, it seems Stormterror attacked Mondstadt out of nowhere.
However, winds change their course. Someday, they will blow towards a brighter future.
It was actually kind of a nice ending.
Another universe.
Shut up, Fischl.
Founded paradise.
Since I had hit AR20, I also unlocked the Battle Pass, which means more free rewards, though limited again as I will not be paying for the premium Battle Pass on this account. Also got a free Barbara, though I already had her unlocked, presumably from pulls in the first couple of days of gameplay from 5 years ago. This is actually great. Oh, I forgot about this. Hey, Traveler. There she is.
At last, Mondstadt's rodent ruler in the flesh.
La Senora. Damn, she baddie. I hated her the first time around.
Mondstadt calls this a god?
Rodent beats invasive vermin.
Don't you dare
Get over it.
suspect.
Oof.
Held your tongue.
Finish him.
So, this is a gnosis.
Beauty is a waste when the beholder has no taste.
Venti, you need to learn when to shut up. My god.
He only descends once every year to give his divine predictions, which set the direction for Liyue for the rest of that year.
Even so, it sounds like he works much harder than a certain
Get him,
someone.
Paimon.
In any case, this year's rite of descension is soon to begin. If you miss it, you'll just have to wait another year.
What? Oh, why didn't you tell us
Blackbeard's not
before?
specific, but also, like, we panic because he's not specific.
We're going.
One moment.
Don't try and join my
Wayborn
world right now.
Outlander.
Then I completed the Witch's Homework permanent event that allowed me to choose one of 3 free 4-star constellations.
Yoo-hoo! Looking for me?
I ended up choosing Sucrose though because she works really well with Fischl, so probably the best combination. And Raisin's an on-field
Sucrose,
DPS, I don't really want
a
that right
researcher
now.
of alchemy.
It's finally time to try the Spiral Abyss. My team's still super weak, but if we can even get to floor 3, that'd be cool. Obviously we're doing all this to unlock Xiangling and Cole. I low-key forgot that the first levels only need 1 team, so this is kind of easy. Imagine I lose floor 1. I'm playing it extra safe, by the way, by playing Noelle and Barbara, but realistically... Oh yeah, okay, that was sick. Healy just destroyed them. Because it's Cryo, we're gonna swap in Kaya. I forget that we're only going on to floor 2, like I had to do all 3 chambers. I'm not letting you get your shield back up.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Oof.
Dodge this.
With time to spare. I think I'm probably going to call it there though, because it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. With the extra Primo Gems, I could do 2 more 10 pulls on the current banners. My first 10 pulls saw me get both a Fischl constellation and a Noelle constellation. And my second unlocked Aoife, who I really wanted to put on my team for his overworld travel abilities.
Hey there, I'm Aoife, a Sorrow vet from the Flower Feather clan.
I finally went to Dragonspine and unlocked the Statue of the Seven there, so I could now see all of Mondstadt on the map. And off recording, I may have also unlocked every Statue of the Seven outside of Inazuma, which is apparently locked behind Chapter 1 of the Archon quest. The upside to unlocking all the towers became obvious very quickly. If I pulled a random off-banner character, say
So
Chevrus,
funny sometimes.
I could instantly teleport to her region and grab her local specialties
Let's
without
go.
any friction, meaning leveling and ascending characters from any region was now not only possible, but easy, as any detours will be made much shorter.
Not bad.
I also completed the Shuttle Flash Memory Hunt event, in which I took a bunch of pictures of our friends we met along the journey. A journey I've yet to complete on this account, but hey, 3 Primo Gems are hard to pass up on. Unfortunately, I did miss a few, as some characters were located in Inazuma, but that's the price I pay for doing anything but the Archon quest. As I'd been continuing to level my characters, I decided it was time to try the 3rd floor of the Spiral Abyss, and though I wasn't able to get 9 stars, I was able to complete the floor. No, there's no way we just lost the 3rd star. We're so close. It was like 4 seconds. Dude, Fischl's doing so well here. Just works so well with Xingqiu. We destroyed him. And you know what that means. Meaning I can now unlock Xiangling.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Xiangling. I'm a chef from Liyue.
And with the extra Primo Gems, I was able to do another 10 pull, and it went gold. But it was another D-Luke, so not only did I lose my 50-50, I didn't get a new character either. And, frankly, his C1 constellation sucks. While out exploring and trying to earn more Primo Gems, I reached AR25 and could once again ascend my world level. This time I received a quest and had to beat a dungeon. So I did so with time to spare, and we ascended our world to world level 2. I also received my Ascension rewards and even unlocked the net as an event gift for reaching AR25.
Let the magic
Take a
begin!
good look, because it's the first and last time you'll see her during this video.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. I am Linny's magic assistant, and if you have work-related inquiries...
After completing more world quests and jungling story quests, I went and grinded out a ton of materials and then went to visit the blacksmith. I could now make the MRE bag, an item I'd been eyeing since my first day back. This would allow me to add revival food and healing items, and equip it so I could use the items in a single click while in battle, a huge quality of life upgrade. Also crafted my first weapon for Aether, the Mapper Mare, which would be a huge upgrade for him. Right now, unfortunately, there's nothing else I can or want to build. Day 11 and 12. Finally time to head to Liyue and start the Archon quest, and it started with a bang. I completed the entire Liyue Archon quest over 2 days. We saw an Archon fall, met a child,
Hey, buddy, hold still.
met the
The one
Adepti,
before you is the Adeptus Cloud Retainer.
fought a Fatui Harbinger, and met the
That is
Archon
the case.
who lived.
And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
No rest
Around
for
the same
wicked.
time, I also cleared Spiral Disc 4-4, unlocking Kole. I was able to clear the lowest difficulty of the Stygian Onslaught, another of the endgame modes that I'd accidentally started the quest for, while unlocking all of the Towers of the Seven the day before.
Major Kale reporting for duty.
After finishing the Liyue Archon
Ad
quest,
Astra
things
Abyssos.
get messy. Suddenly the game starts throwing quests at you from every direction. Chapter 1 Act 4 unlocks, but so do multiple interlude chapters. There's a separate quest to meet Dainsleif, who's really important to the lore. And on top of that, Chapter 2 Prologue appears too. And that's just for the story. At AR30 you also unlock the Serenity Teapot, Genius Invocation TCG, and a bunch of other systems that didn't even exist when I first played the game. Honestly, it's a bit overwhelming, and I already know how to play all of these systems and games. And I actually can't imagine what this must feel like for a brand new player. Day 13 was the first Sunday since returning to the account, which means it was time for weekly tasks before the reset. Started with reputation quests, which unlock useful items and rewards as you increase your standing in each nation. Then I fought 2 weekly bosses, bats that eventually drop materials you need to upgrade characters' final talent levels. You can only do 3 a week, but my AR is too low, and even though I just did the child fight in the story, I actually can't do it as a weekly battle until AR 34. And finally I decided to try a Genius Invocation TCG. Mostly for the early primo gems that you can get from playing it, but also because it counts towards the weekly battle pass. Madam Ping requested my help and introduced us to Yanfei, who I worked with not only to solve a legal pursuit, but also to get our hands on the materials Madam Ping needed to build the teapot for me. So, welcome to my teapot. I think I'll go with the classic look here. Honestly, I forgot how overwhelming this can all be at the start, but they have added so many quality of life features since the introduction of the teapot in the game that makes this way more accessible. Like, I can just buy wood, and not only that, it's not 1-to-1, it's 1 for 10 pieces of wood, which makes life way easier. Now if I spend a few of these to skip the creation time, I can reach Struct Rank level 2, and then by putting out a bunch of items into my world, I can increase my Adeptal energy, which means I'll accumulate more realm currency. I can also put out characters I own into the teapot, not only to talk to them, but to increase their friendship. Later on you can even make decoration sets that give you primo gems if you put out characters that like them. As the game has gotten so big over 5 years of story and updates that they've added this feature so new players could play the most recent content and events. Especially as events are limited time and can't be played once they're gone, but my goal for starting this is actually to unlock Ino.
Paimon, Traveler. Welcome to Notcry.
So after a lot of new character introductions in the story, and mentions of all of my feats that I've yet to actually do, I finally unlock Ino.
Oh, are you here to play with me?
And end the day by taking her to level 40. And finally I started the quest to meet Dainsleif, but I'll continue that tomorrow.
Ah, welcome, sir. The wine that you previously ordered is here.
Day 14 to 16. It's a new week, but the same grind. This week I didn't have as much free time, I'd been sick the previous week, but I kept up with dailies and made major teapot progress, reaching Trust Rank 3. I also hit AR 45, unlocking the Imaginarium Theatre. Though I couldn't fully engage with it yet, despite the trial characters it lets me use, I still needed to upgrade 2 characters to level 60. So I was able to do the next Ascension quest and reach world level 4, and after crafting some items I was able to take Fischl to level 60. I also defeated the Oceanid, a fight no one enjoys, and was able to level Xingqiu to level 60, also getting another Acclaimed Fate for doing so, meaning I can do another 10 pull on the standard banner. And it's Mika.
Frontline land surveyor, Knights of...
And then on the very next pull, I got a Kachina, way better character, she's actually adorable. Ignoring that she's not useful for the meta, I can't complain about her. After a lot more exploration, I did a 10 pull that gave me a bad weapon and reached AR 37. Then I could finally try and complete the Imaginarium Theatre normal mode, which I did, and afterwards finished the Chapter 2 prelude and finally arrived in Inazuma. Day 17. I met Toma.
Oh, hi there.
Completed the Rito entry quest, witnessed the statue of the Seven filled with stolen visions, and then prepared to meet Ayaka. Or I could ignore the quest entirely and go unlock every new statue of the Seven first. The questline resumes tomorrow.
So close,
Day 18.
So close.
I
Stay
did not
cool.
resume the questline and instead unlocked and started fishing for the catch. If I keep this up every day, I should easily be able to get the
What
catch
is it?
before the
What
end of
is
this
it?
challenge.
Is it another Paimon?
Editing cheese here. I did not keep it up. Maybe by day 100. I upped Fischl to level 70 and started leveling Sucrose to level 70 as well, so that way I could unlock both their Hexrai buffs when partied together. Day 19. I finally pulled an Effa.
Nice to meet you. I am a Nepha, a multifunctional robot for domestic application.
I spent 15 fragile resin to level 2 characters and Effa and Jungling to level 60 so I could attempt Imaginarium Theatre up to floor 6. But after spending around 10 resin and getting them there, I tried to start and realized I still needed a third character. I had to grind Aino's boss and spend even more fragile resin to get the more ESP books to make her level 62, so that way I could finally do normal mode in Imaginarium Theatre. I was easily able to do it, but despite multiple attempts I couldn't get the flower on the 6th and final floor, but with so many other things resetting tomorrow this felt worth it and just speeds up my account progress. Was the fragile resin worth it overall? Debatable, probably not. But I couldn't stop halfway through after leveling 2 characters, so it's done and my account is now bigger and better for it, which is good because I'm going to try and climb the abyss a bit more tomorrow, now that I've got my characters a little bit higher to do so, including a Jungling who can help with the cryo slimes. Day 24. After spending a lot of resin on world bosses, I was able to level a few characters to level 70, I even cleared the first 8 floors of the Spiral Abyss already, as well as 3-starring Chamber 1 of floor 9. But I couldn't scratch Chamber 2. Me again. Up until this point I was just reviving my account, but today I made a mistake. I decided I would like to beat the Spiral Abyss in 30 days. Now keep in mind we're 24 days into this challenge, so that's not a good idea. So the rest of this video is kind of a mess, and you'll see why. I think I want to challenge myself to see how high I can get in the Spiral Abyss before these 30 days end. So I continued the Inazuma Archon quest and finally did Ayaka's story quest, and then I explored Dragonspine and leveled the Frostbearing tree so I could do another 10 pull for Zabai. I unlocked Liyue, which means if I do end up pulling Zabai, I'll have some good teammates for her.
Leader of the Lightkeepers Investigation Squad.
Day 26. Did a lot more exploration and then world quest to try and get to AR45, but a lot of XP for 1 level, so I ended up jumping around and doing bits and pieces of exploration in every region around Teapot, so I could level up different towers of the 7, and then I ended up in Natlan working on the Tablet of Tona as it gave the most rewards. Day 27. After handing in some rewards at the Tree of Eternity in Inazuma, I was able to do yet another 10 pull, and this time I unlocked Auroron. Works quite well with Aether, and since Auroron was the first pull in the 10 pull, like the first 4-star, and a 4-star is guaranteed in every 10, I knew my next pull would also be a 4-star. So I pulled and I got another Aether. So I put together 2 possible teams. Now obviously this could change if I do end up getting Zabai, but for now these will be the 2 teams I'm going to use. Honestly, I'm kind of dedicated to clearing the Spiral Abyss in 30 days now, but as I've been sick and it's been a slow few days, it's a bit of a challenge now just to get to AR45 so I can start artifact farming with the guarantee of 5-star artifacts. I did my trans domains and finished Interlude Rising of Jane Chamber, but still fell short of the AR45. I'll hit it, but I was hoping to do so before I did these trans domains for better reward chances. Day 28. So I was able to level more characters level 60, realized that I actually can't beat the Imaginarium Theatre this time around on normal mode. I can't even beat my domains right now, so it's time to grind talent domains and weapon materials. Day 29, I did dailies and finally beat the Natlan artifact domain once, and then even with food buffs I couldn't beat it again, so I leveled Diluc and Chevreuse specifically for this domain. Day 30. Now that I'm able to beat the artifact domain, I was able to put Auroron on Obsidian Codex and Aether on Scrolls of Cinder City. Then later I was able to clear the Not Cry artifact domain and put a Neffa on the DPS set, and well, I left Ino on Instructor. But that's a good set for her. Day 31. So, I kind of forgot yesterday was day 30, and I'm nowhere near beating the Spiral Abyss, let alone floor 9. I actually quit out on my last try because I knew I had no chance. So, what happened? I can say I was sick or I didn't do X or Y, but honestly on day 24, I saw YouTuber Eats' old video, Can I Beat the Spiral Abyss in 30 days? And I was kind of inspired, but frankly, aiming to 36 star the Spiral Abyss 24 days into a 30-day challenge about just reviving an account was an impossible challenge to set myself. Even though I finally felt like I had two teams that had synergies, it's not like they were built or designed for the Spiral Abyss specifically, it's just working with what I had. I actually wrote out a whole game plan for how I would accomplish clearing the Abyss, but as I barely played during the last week compared to the weeks before, it's not worth showing to you. But if you are interested in seeing someone clear the Spiral Abyss in 30 days, drop a comment and let me know, because one day I might make a new account and actually 36 star the Spiral Abyss in just 30 days. But for now, I'm stretching out the challenge for 3 days, as that's when the Spiral Abyss ends, and I wanted to see if I can at least beat floor 9, as I've already been spending my time trying to conquer it. So it's day 33 and I still can't beat Chamber 2 of floor 9. I barely played these last few days, and honestly I think I may have burnt myself out of Genshin for a bit. So I failed. Overall, I really enjoyed playing this account and will continue to do so. It was definitely worth reviving and has allowed me to play a bunch more characters that I never really tried in my main account. That being said, in aiming for the Spiral Abyss, I also ended up building the same characters I already knew from my main account. So slowing down and going back will allow me to try the other characters I never played. And honestly, I probably won't play too much for the next week or so, as like I said, I'm kind of a bit burnt out, but I'll still have fun building the characters as I get on every day. Beyond all that though, I think I want to go back to Inazuma and progress naturally through the regions instead of jumping around so much between each region like I was chasing Primo Gems. So if you want to see that, I'll see you at day 100 with a cleaner video and a goal of actually 36 starring the Spiral Abyss. Wait, today's day 34, not day 33.